What's up, everyone? My name is Mikhail. Going live today to talk about my first deal that I just recently closed. It was at the beginning of last month. I closed it August 3rd, and it was a huge milestone for me because I'm 22 right now, but at the time when it closed, I was 21, and I told myself as a milestone I wanted to close my first deal at the age of 21, and I did it with 13 days to spare. I closed it August 3rd. My birthday is August 16th. So, I mean, you can do the math. It was a real exciting time for me. But my whole goal of going live with my story of my first deal is because I know what those type of stories do for me. It does something to my motivation. It raises it way up. So I want to share my story because, hopefully I can do that to someone else who is looking to get their first deal or looking to get their next deal. And if I can inspire someone to, do that, get their next deal or get their first deal, that's a win. So getting right into it, I found this deal on Zillow for sale by owner. I made the little boundary. I'm in Chicago, so I want to invest in like the south suburbs, south side of Chicago area. So I made my boundary, run into the for sale by owner list, and basically I made a spreadsheet. I put all the information in the spreadsheet, and then had a little list. I have the dialer system from Russell, so I wasn't calling one by one. I just plugged in the dialer, and this person reached back out to me. Now the seller was originally asking $100K. So after I asked my questions over the phone, I had my little conversation with her. Actually went through the script, asked her the questions and everything. After I ran my numbers, I knew I couldn't do $100K. So I ran my numbers and it put me at 75. Now, I made my offer. Turns out that wasn't right. I made my offer at 75, but I forgot to factor in the cost of building a garage because her property needed a garage and all the other comps had a garage. And I found out because I sent the deal to Russell, because I was partnering with Russell on this deal. Sent the deal to Russell. He got back to me and let me know that my numbers were a little bit off. I was too high on my offer and that I should be around that 55 number because of the garage. So I had to go back and I had to renegotiate with the seller. I renegotiated with her and I let her know, I was honest with her. I let her know that I made a mistake when I was running the numbers. And that I had to be more around that 55 number. And she actually let me know right after that she knew that the property's value was around that 55 range, given the current condition it was in. She just put it on Zillow for that 100,000 number because she wanted to see what she could get, which was completely understandable. But I wanted to make sure I added that part in because that was a huge lesson for me, because it showed me that you cannot be scared to go back and let somebody know that you made a mistake. Because she could have been like, yeah, okay, I wanted the 75,000 instead. I don't want 56,000, but she didn't. And if I was too scared to go back and renegotiate with the seller, I would have missed out on a $14,000 profit deal. So that's just a huge lesson for me. Don't let fear control you. Be confident in everything you do. So, like I said, I renegotiated at the 56,000. Got it under contract with her. And since I partnered with Russell on the deal, I sent him all the information. And he got to market it to his buyers. So once he did that, it took a couple days. It didn't take long at all. It took a couple days for him to get two buyers, actually. One was in-state, one was out-of-state. The one in-state, they were really interested. They wanted to set up a walkthrough to come see the property and everything. So we scheduled a walkthrough. They came to see the property. Now, at the time, Russell wasn't available to go to the showing, because when you do these showings, you want someone from your party there to mediate what happens between the seller and the buyer, because you don't want the buyer to go around your back and try to negotiate with the seller and then end up cutting you out of the deal. So you want somebody from your party there to mediate things. And Russell, like I said, Russell wasn't available. Now, I'm also in Chicago, so the property is in Chicago and it's only about 20 minutes away from me, so it's nothing for me to drive to the property. So, I dressed up real nice. I was looking good. I showed up. I was a little nervous because I never did anything like this before, but I showed up. I didn't really, the seller was a really nice lady. The buyers were a very nice couple. I didn't really have to do much. I was just there just to, like I said, mediate, and I also had to get video for the second buyer that we had. Because if anything fell through with the first buyers, we had a backup basically. So basically, yeah, I was just there during the walkthrough, taking videos. Whole thing took about 30, 45 minutes. The seller was pretty much explaining everything that needed to be known about the house to the buyers. So, I didn't have to explain anything. It was a really cool experience, actually, because like I said, I never did anything like that before, so it was new experience under my belt. After the walkthrough, me and the buyers had the conversation. They kind of let me know that they were very interested in the property and that they were looking to put in a full price offer on the property. Now, when they said that, I was super excited. I was trying to contain all my excitement because I didn't want to seem like, a beginner at this. I didn't want to, give off that vibe. So, on the inside, I'm, jumping for joy, but on the outside, I'm trying to keep it cool, like let them know, like, okay, cool, just let Russell know what you want to do as far as the offer, and we'll go from there. Later that day, Russell contacted me and let me know that we got the buyers put in a full price offer at $70,000. So just to recap, I got the property under contract at 56 and with the seller, and then we got the contract going with the buyers at 70. So there's the $14,000 split right there. Now from here on out, all we were waiting for was closing. Now I do want to make a point of this. It's not cut and dry. Like, it could be cut and dry, like easy closing, to where like there's nothing that pops up that prolongs the deal or anything. But this one definitely wasn't that. We had some issues that did come up. One of the issues were we had an issue with title that needed to be resolved. That took a little more than a week to get resolved. And we had to have the attorney get that figured out. We also had a tenant in the property. There was a tenant, it was a relative of the seller that was living there. We had to wait for him to get his stuff packed up and get situated to move out and stuff like that. So that that added a little bit of time to the deal. And then we were also waiting for clear to close from the title company, before we could close, of course. And that took about a week, maybe a little longer than a week. So it did prolong the process, Like I said, there were a few hiccups. It's not cut and dry, super easy all the time. So just be prepared for that. I know a lot of people kind of try to advertise it, or not, people other than Russell, like the gurus out there, try to advertise it as like, a get rich quick scheme. It's definitely not that. It takes work. There are things that can pop up and you just got to persevere. But we ultimately did get it closed August 3rd. So this whole process took about 3 months. Because I talked to the seller in May. She wasn't sure what she wanted to do. So it took a little bit of time to get it under contract. So we ended up getting it under contract June 3rd. And then it took exactly 2 months from us getting it under contract to closing, because we closed it August 3rd. Now, I do want to say, this whole time, none of it really felt real to me. It only felt real when I saw that check hit. I'm not going to lie. It only felt real when I saw the check hit. Because that's when I actually got to sit there and look at the fruits of my labor, and it was just, it was a feeling. I'll tell you that much. It was a great feeling, because I never closed a deal before. I never had a check like that before, so it was just super motivating. And it just made me hungry for the next one. So, like I said, I wanted to put my story out there to, help maybe motivate someone who is looking to get their first deal, or, someone who's looking to get their next deal. Because I know how much I love hearing these stories about people doing their deals, so I wanted to put it out there. Working with Russell, it was a great experience. He let me know, he kept me in the loop throughout the whole entire process. I was never guessing on anything, He was right there, like when I needed him. If I had questions, he was there to answer them. And it was just a great process. I just want to thank him for helping me get my first deal, providing me with the tools I needed to get my first deal. And so I just want to thank you all for listening to my story. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. All you got to do is send me a message. I'll get back to you. But yeah, once again, thanks for listening to my story. and I will talk to you guys next time.